Hi everyone, I'm in my studio in Kent today and I'm going to get an early night. I'm very excited because tomorrow morning I'm getting up very early to go and have an adventure on an island in the Medway. I've been there a couple of times, or actually more than a couple of times. I've been there a few times before but haven't been there for a year, and so hoping that lots of new and interesting things will be washed up. So I got up with the crack of dawn this morning with the dawn chorus because we are going on an adventure to an island. We're going to kayak over, and can you hear the bird song? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, it's about 10 to 6 in the morning, so we're going to catch the high tide. So I'll catch you later. So here we are. Here is the boat already. Very exciting. So we're just getting our stuff ready, and here is the kayak. Then we are going to paddle over to a remote island not far from here. And the water is so calm and it looks like it's going to be a nice day. Such a beautiful sunrise over there. See the pink on the water. Today we're going to go on an adventure and kayak over to an island in the River Medway in Kent, on which there's an old abandoned Victorian fort which was started in 1864 and completed in 1871, and then it was disarmed and abandoned before the First World War, and then in the Second World War it was used as an observation post. So there's so much history on this island, and I've probably visited it, I think, about 3 or 4 times, and each time I feel like I'm in a Famous Five book. And by the way, if you didn't read the Famous Five when you were growing up, then you just don't know what you were missing. So we'll learn a lot more about the fort as we go on, but who fought on who island? And by the way, who is the old English word for spur of land. So who fort was built to play a role defending the UK in the mid-19th century, when there was a fair amount of political instability in Europe. And there were 2 identical forts built on either side of the River Medway Channel. And so there's another fort exactly opposite on Darnet Island called Fort Darnet. And who fort was equipped with 11 9-inch rifle-muzzled loading guns. And as well as military history, there's also a lot of evidence of Roman activity, so there's a bit of everything. So I think there'll probably be about 4 parts in the Who series. And I'm with David Nolan, who's a fabulous local artist, and he knows a great deal about the island, and so I've been learning a lot from him. So let's go and see what we can find. So we've just paddled from over there, and this is David. Say hi, David.
Hello.
Well paddled.
Thank you.
Very well paddled. Yes, wet bum all round.
Nasty.
And so we're going to spend the day exploring this island. I can hardly wait. But first it's time for a cup of tea. And now we're going to do a little excursion around the corner and see what we can find. So here's the first find of the day. It's an old pipe bowl, nice old one. Tell by the shape. Of early 18th or late 17th or mid 17th even. So what have you got there, David?
Fly buttons, military off the front of some poor gentleman's trousers.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. I'll put those in my bag. Interesting piece of pottery here with looks like WR on it. Something military related, I expect. It looks like a coin here, but a lot of things were burnt along this part of the island, and so I'm not sure I'll ever really find out what this is. It's probably an old halfpenny. Lots of interesting bits of metal. Screws and bolts and buttons and bits and pieces. Looks like the tip of a spoon or something. Some cutlery. Have a look. An old spoon. Very nice. So there's another interesting piece of pottery here with NACB on it, so I'm not sure what that stands for. I will have to find out. Okay, so David has found something and he's called me over. What is it, David?
I think it's a cap badge from the Grenadiers.
Really? A cap badge from the Grenadiers? Let's see.
It's only slightly hidden.
Oh, look at that. Let's have a look. Let's have a closer look at it. Wow. Sorry. Allowing me to pick it up first. Oh, yes. Now that's very special.
Beautiful.
We need to wash. I have got a toothbrush in my rucksack. Somebody suggested I take a toothbrush, and oh, there's a toothbrush.
Yeah, very early
that's
one.
a very old toothbrush. That's
This one I made earlier.
Okay, hang on. Let's have a closer look at this.
That is beautiful, isn't it?
I'll rub it on my trusty jeans, and then we'll give it a very careful wash off later. That's really pretty.
Is there a Tudor rose in it? I can't see it properly.
It looks like it. So
Could be.
that's a Tudor rose. So what do you think it could be?
I think it's from the
Possibly?
Royal Artillery or the Grenadiers, but I haven't seen one before. I've not come across that style.
Okay. Well, we'll have to
Yeah.
do a bit of research afterwards. There's a lot of this pottery here with clearly a naval connotation. So I've come across an interesting bit here with lots of bits of metal, so I'm going to have a search around here, and out of the corner of my eye I just spied this by the stone, which looks sort of interesting. Have a look, see what it is. I can definitely see some writing on it, and I do love some writing. Oh, look at that. Oh, so exciting. It says feed something chest for heavy lifting gear. Oh, what a fabulous thing. To look into that and see exactly what it was for. I'll see what else I can find and come back and show you. I can see a little bottle poking out there from the banks. I'm going to go and have a look and see what it is. Just here. See if it's whole, see if it's got anything on it. Pull. Oh, yes. What is it? Oh, it's lung tonic. Look at that, lung tonic. Which I can only imagine is for if you've got a cough or a cold, and it's for your lungs. It is Albridge's lung tonic. And here's another anchor motif here. Presumably another military insignia. I've just pulled out another bit of pottery from the wall here, and it's got a clue on it. It's got arracks, so it's obviously barracks. It's a shame it's not whole. Oh, so there's a bullet there. Let's see.
45 calibre pistol rounds. Maybe from an officer's pistol.
Let's see.
Unfired and live.
Unfired and live.
Aye.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's got a lead slug. The bullet itself is lead, so it's...
So I've just found this piece of metal, and looking at it closer, there's lots of figures on it.
Is it yards?
Is it yards? I don't know. And what were you saying it could be?
Part of the rangefinder on a gun or something. 'Cause it's graduated, isn't it? And then it goes into very small graduations there. Looks, I've seen something similar on an anti-aircraft gun.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
So welcome to Tideline Studio. This is where I keep all my treasures from the Thames and from the Thames estuary, and this is where we're going to do today's roundup. Let's give you a quick tour of the studio, which is pretty much full of all the things that I love most. And this is the Thames Orphans section. So I'm going to go through some of the finds from part one of the Who series, and I've got with me as well two very useful books which David has lent me, and one of them is Coast Defences of England and Wales by Ian Hogg, which is very useful because it's got lots of information about forts, including Who Fort, and a very good little booklet by R Crowdy called Medway Island Forts, and it's super. It's got lots of information about Who Fort and Darnet Fort. So I've got all my pottery here, which I'm going to go through. I've got my potential gun range finder. I have my little pipe bowl and the lung tonic, and it occurred to me, is there a connection between the lung tonic and the pipe bowls? And indeed all the pipes and all the smoking implements that I find so much of. Could that be something to do with the fact that there is also the occasional bottle of lung tonic discarded? I've got the cat badge here, a little piece of metal, some buttons, and a very, very old toothbrush. So firstly, let's have a look at the bottle of lung tonic, and it's Albridge's lung tonic. Got Albridge's on the side there, lung tonic from Hull. And I've been looking up a little bit about Albridge's lung tonic, and indeed there's some very good old adverts for it, of course professing that it's the most amazing medicine that you could possibly ever hope to get, including this one, which is Great English Remedy, saves many lives, the best, safest and surest remedy known for chill, coughs, colds and throat and chest affections is Albridge's. The old, original and world famous lung tonic. for public speakers, singers, and those who suffer from throat weakness. Well, if you haven't been convinced yet, you should be now. So lung tonic is really, really the way to go. So now for the cap badge. And what we have here, I think, after doing some research, is a British Army Victorian era, I think, Royal Fusilier badge. And it's in the form of a flaming grenade. And then in about 1881, the centre of the grenade, a Tudor rose was put into the middle. It's definitely pre-1914, and around the edge it's got "On y soit qui mal y pense," which is the motto which appears on a representation of the garter surrounding the shield of the Royal Coat of Arms of the United Kingdom. And "On y soit qui mal y pense" is translated as "may he be shamed who thinks badly of it." So that is a cap badge, which would have been worn on a British Army Royal Fusiliers cap. Very nice find. And here we've got this piece of metal, which I rather like, which could be perhaps a gun rangefinder. If anyone has any ideas or any thoughts on that, then as in anything actually, if anybody spots anything and they know what it is and I've got it completely wrong, then please pipe up and tell me. And here is this rather pretty little label which has come off of a chest. At the top it's got EED, and I don't know what that stands for, but it's got on its store chest for heavy lifting gear. So a chest that was containing heavy lifting gear, I guess. And then lastly, here is this glorious array of pottery with different symbols on, naval mostly and military. Start with this one. I need some help identifying these. So this has got WR on it. Another piece here. This one with two fouled anchors crossed. A few of those. There's this one, which has come from a barracks. In fact, I was reading up about barracks actually, and it appears that officers and sailors were often assigned to join specific messes based on their functional watch schedules. And joining a mess was serious stuff, not to be taken lightly. And some tableware was modified to identify which mess they belonged to. So this could be tableware from a whole lot of different messes. In fact, one of my last visits, I found this large fragment with 44 on it, so that could be mess 44. And perhaps this one comes from a mess that belongs to a particular barracks. So again, this one I'm interested to know what that relates to. And all these are not anchors. I mean, they're obviously naval. But it would be nice if anybody knows anything about all these different symbols. And this, I don't know what this belongs to. I haven't looked it up. NACB. So any help, any tips? I'm eager to learn more about all these different symbols. Well, thanks very much. That was a pretty successful first part of the Who series, I think, and I'm very much looking forward to part number 2. Thank you very much for watching.
Comes Lara Croft.